Welcome to Horror Dork Live. This week we're talking about the 2022 Filipino-Irish film Nocebo. Joint venture there.
Yeah.
Joining me today, I'm Anthony, and joining me today is Mr. Sir.
Although
So, just right off the bat, what did you think about this movie?
I really liked it a lot. I thought it was a very effective. I liked all the I liked a lot of the imagery in the movie. Um, I thought Ava Green's character was perfectly played. Like I don't usually think I'm not a huge fan of her as like an actress.
Hmm.
But I thought that she like the kind of I don't want to give too much away right off the bat, but I think the kind of character she ends up being is like perfectly cast for her. And you really feel for Diana, the actual protagonist of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's always good and Mark Strong's a calming presence. It's always nice seeing Mark Strong pop up in something. You know you're in good hands. He's usually at least even in movies that are bad that he's in, he's usually like a good like the good thing in the movie, like the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. He's
Yeah,
Sinestro in that.
yeah.
He's really good.
Is he in Shazam?
Yeah, yes, he's the bad guy in Shazam. He's really good in that as well.
I thought so. I just couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
No, I thought everyone did really good in this movie as far as in terms of acting or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I just I don't know, like you said, her performance is over the top. Ava Green's.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't mean over the top in a bad way. I mean like she really
Yeah,
pulls no stops.
she
Yeah,
commits to her character's having a mental breakdown and you feel it.
yeah, because right in the beginning of the movie, she gets a phone call and she's mentioning something about bodies, and then she sees this dog, and you're not really sure if this is something that has revisited her or if it's something that just started acting up. And I don't think it says how much downtime is in between after this incident.
It's like 8 months, I think.
Yeah, because this movie gets right into it. Doesn't waste
Yeah.
any time.
Nope. It catches you up later as to like what was going on and everything.
Right.
But yeah, it jump you get right into the meat of the story pretty much right away. Or like it gets going right away.
Definitely. And I think a lot of it is it's not very slow paced. It seems like it
No.
might be, um, but there's enough tension going around with creepy stuff happening.
Oh yeah, there's always like there's some and you're not sure what's going on with Diana. You know that she has ulterior motive, but you're not sure exactly what she's there for.
So if you haven't seen this, Diana shows up and the main character, oh crap, I don't remember her name.
I don't either.
Well, Ava Green's character,
I think it's Rachel, something like that. I
yeah,
don't remember.
maybe. I remember the daughter's Bob's.
Yes, Bob's.
Uh, she shows up and
Philip
says,
is the
"You,
husband.
yeah,
Felix is the husband. I don't remember. God damn, that's
you hired me. You don't remember," and we're really like just in it to believe it. Either you're on board right from there or not. That she's having
bad.
mental problems, and this girl may or may not be playing games with her
And
head.
one little thing when she sees the dog, it shakes and all these ticks come flying off it, and one of these ticks lands on her and it burrows itself in the back of her neck. Now, at this point, the dog just vanishes, so you're not sure if it was something that she hallucinated or not, or what's going on. So I just wanted to point that out because the ticks are an important part of the
Yeah,
story going forward.
um, because Diana, right?
Yeah.
Diana goes on and explains that she was gifted abilities from a dying Umu. She's from Cebu City, and she's from an island south, even further south of Cebu. Um, but she says like you should never be around a Umu that's dying, and
Yes.
I suppose they're sort of like a witch doctor, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know for sure, but it seems
I don't
really
know why you'd be asking me that.
I didn't know if you caught something from the movie. I didn't.
I was setting you up for. I was just setting you up for an easy one. This is witchcraft stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah,
man, you're slipping.
yeah.
I set him up for a real easy one.
Yeah, you are the resident arcane master. But sorry, I forgot what I was saying now. Son of a
You're talking about how you shouldn't be around an umu when it's dying.
yeah, I had a whole point I was gonna get to, and now it slipped my mind.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll remember when I listen back.
um so she she just like kind of accepts that this person that she did this without um really she must have did it well she had like a memory lapse, and these are things that she says when she does stuff and she loses time and or whatever. And so Diana just she has a room and they just kind of let her just stay there. And she starts using some of her holistic style medicine to cure her symptoms. She'll have like panic attacks and she can't breathe, and Diana tickles her and it kind of, breaks her out of
Well,
it or
first she
whatever.
does the Karate Kid thing
Yeah,
where
she
she
goes
rubs her
whack.
hands
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
and then places over her arm. Because what happens is her arm, when she has these panic attacks, her arm clenches up and she can't move her hand or anything, and she shakes really
Yes.
bad.
And there's one other thing I wanted to mention before we get too further about Ava Green's character. Um, she's a fashion designer for um, a child's fashion clothing line. These are like high end, like rich kid clothes.
Yeah, she pitches her ideas to these companies, and it seems
Yes.
like this is a company she works with pretty regularly.
And while at dinner, Diana is, no, no, it's not. It's in the morning. Diana brings them breakfast in bed, and they're kind of discussing what she does as a job, and she says that, and she says, "Oh, you don't make the clothes," and she goes, "Oh no, my little helpers do." And then Diana asks her, "Oh, who are the little helpers?" And then she shuts right up and kind of dismisses her, and that is what we like to call foreshadowing. Very, very like it's not. You'll guess what's going on in the movie, but you're not going. You don't feel like it's not like one of those. It's not a movie where it's like trying to trick you by like making it think it's smarter than you. It does. It does. It helps you along. It's a smartly. I think it's very smartly written and it's effective. So you're not like upset when the thing that called was going to happen happens. It's just sometimes not all movies have a surprise twist or whatever. This movie just has like a very satisfying conclusion in my opinion.
Right, right.
But I don't want to. We're a little far away from that. We're still got to talk
Well,
about
yeah, and like
Anita's
to
death.
add to your foreshadowing, she said it's not just where are these. She's like, I don't see them,
Yeah,
and is looking around the room.
right.
And you think at that point until later on in the movie, you think she's just looking around the room to actually see what's inside the room, but she's not.
No.
She has a gift, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. Um, one cool fact that I learned about this movie is for the dog that was covered in ticks.
Yeah.
They actually got a real dog that was covered in ticks, and they
Really?
shot in the Philippines. Yeah,
Ugh.
I know
Oh, that's so
because they
sad.
couldn't
That
really.
dog was really freaking gross looking.
Yeah.
Ugh. That poor dog. Oh wow. And it's they made good use of him.
Yeah.
He's very creepy looking. He had like cataracts too. He's like looked like he was blind or something.
So
When she's telling her to get back to what you were saying, when she's telling her that story, um Eva Green is like I think she's just like feeling like it's BS. But you see this when the lady dies, she's like transfixed. 8-year-old Diana's transfixed by it. and she witnesses a little baby hairless black bird come out of her mouth, and then it crawls into her mouth, and then that's how she became um able to with those abilities to be able to do the magic or the healing or whatever. It has the power to heal and the power to destroy, and they make sure that they let you know that people are afraid of them, like the X-Men.
Yeah.
People are afraid of what they don't understand and what's more powerful than them. Dana is a bit of a mutant.
Sure. She wasn't born with that gift, though.
That's true. So actually, the little bird thing is the mutant, and its mutant abilities is to control humans and give them the powers of the magic.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen this movie, which it's pretty obscure, so
It's on Shutter.
I'm just gonna assume that the listener has
Probably not.
seen this
I
movie.
recommend watching it. It's
Well,
really
I
I
mean, like
liked
if
it a
they're
lot.
checking out this podcast, they
Right, right,
probably have
right.
seen this movie.
Yeah. I assume so.
So it's gonna be pretty spoiler heavy. But what Mr. Sir's talking about is I don't know what type of bird it is, but there's a little bird. And when the
I
Umu
think it's a
dies in the
crow because
flashback,
she shows her conversing with crows, and when her and Bob's become friends, and that's something that they bond over.
but didn't the beak and the legs and the eyes even look a little too different to be a crow?
I mean, probably they're it was like a really gross
I don't
looking
know much
animal.
about
I
the
don't.
biology
I'm
of.
not a big. I'm not a big bird. I'm not a big
You're not a big bird.
avian.
You're not. You're not a big
Which is
bird.
the name of Bob's pet bird, which Dana uses to menace Felix after he drunkenly goes into her room and tells her to knock off the stuff.
Head games.
Yes, watch out for the stairs,
And
and
in the
he'll go
beginning,
off
you're
some.
almost led to believe because you're not sure. It seems fairly obvious that Diana's up to something.
Right, and there's two things that when I was watching that this movie reminded me of. One is the Apple Plus TV show that M. Night Shyamalan did called Servant.
Hmm.
Really good show. I like it a lot. It has a similar vibe to this, where there's a woman comes in as a caretaker, and you're not sure what's really going on with her. The other was Parasite, the Bong Joon-un movie that came out a couple years ago, the Oscar-winning film, uh, because of the attitudes and the themes towards
The
the
elite.
wealth class system.
Sure, I could see a little bit of overlap
Like
there.
there's not, it's like movie wise they're not similar at all, but like vibe wise I like, and theme wise I
Okay.
thought that they were similar. Servant more closely, but
Yeah, I really personally myself, I don't think I picked up on too similar of a vibe with Parasite and
okay.
this movie. But I can see what you're saying about there being a little bit of a thematic overlap.
Right.
Um, I think that Diana's character is interesting, not only because there's not really a sense of xenophobia, but
That's how I got Mark Strong's character, was like that's how I felt like at first, like this guy's just racist. But then he turns out to kind of be right.
well, just by xenophobia, I mean a misunderstanding of culture. But
Right,
even
right.
according to Philippines culture, what she's doing is not commonly practiced,
Correct. Right, right. I understand. Yeah, yeah.
and
Like
it's just
she's
really that region near Cebu City that they say is where this stuff goes on.
gotcha.
I don't know if you recall her
N-
mentioning that in the
No,
movie.
I must not. I probably did, and I just kind of went over my head. This movie's pretty heavy, but I liked it. It's
Yeah,
really,
no,
yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot.
yeah, yeah. It has some really cool imagery too. Like there's a part where Ava Green is having she sleeps with a big Darth Vader sleep apnea mask, and she's having a sleep paralysis nightmare of a big tick crawling up her chest, and this thing it's a really cool, like, practical, like, looking thing. I thought it was really awesome looking. And there's some burning people imagery. There's people that has visions of people with boils all over their faces, and like they're melting, their skin's melting off their body. That
Well,
stuff
some
was
of it
all done
wasn't
really
boils
cool.
either. Some of it was large ticks. 'Cause at first I thought she was imagining some people with boils on them, and then I realized that they had ticks because they started
Oh, okay.
moving and stuff,
Okay.
right?
I
Or
mean,
maybe. I don't know.
maybe
Maybe
I
I'm
don't.
misremembering.
No, you're probably right. I was like, when I saw it, they just looked like big boils and
Well,
stuff,
some
and they were
people,
like
yeah, because they were
oozing
burned
and
or
stuff.
whatever.
Yeah, because it mixed in with what Diana was actually there to do. It
Yeah.
wasn't to heal; it was for revenge.
And you get a flashback scene of how she met her husband or
Yeah,
partner or whatever,
and this is intercut, like in between the present, and then to how Diana got to where she
and
is.
it goes through some parts where she's talking to him, and you're not sure how much time has passed in these events, and it never explains it.
No,
But after the finale of the movie, the conclusion, you're led to believe that she immediately pretty much packed her bags and went there.
yeah,
So that's why I was wondering how much time really took place between her meltdown with the dog and when she tried to get back to work.
gotcha. Um, Yeah, I think I'm according to I was just kind of skimming um the plot synopsis on Wikipedia. That said 8 months.
Okay. But doesn't it seem like that is a very long time for what they implied in the movie?
A little bit. Like I don't know how much red tape she would have to get through to get to Ireland. What kind of um uh uh red tape she would have to get through for to be a citizen, or not even citizen, just to be, the kind of status that she has over there. I don't know what their policies are for immigration or whatever. So, but yeah, it seemed like like when that happened, she totally fell off of her game as far as being, a designer. People are not taking her designs; they're passing on all of her pitches. And once Diana comes in and starts using her holistic medicine to heal her, she gets, her groove back, and she sells a pitch. But as she's doing that, Felix Felix Mark Strong is going through her room and finds that
Well, that's the point I wanted to get
okay.
to. Not to cut you off, you were going to say
No, no, no.
he
You're
finds
fine.
the pills because there's a point earlier on where she said that she can't find her pills anywhere, and Diana says, "Don't you remember you said you were going to get rid of them?" And Felix, the whole movie is like, well, here's the thing about Felix before I get to what I was going to say.
Right.
Felix is an advertising strategist, and he has to know people and be able to read them, and you get a really good sense that he just gets people very well because he's calling her bullshit from moment one,
Right.
and they do a really good job of subverting the trope of the awful husband that won't allow the wife to do what needs to be
That's
done.
what I mean, because you peg him for that right away, and it sort of feels that way. But like once you get to know Diana a little better, you understand that he has every right to be suspicious of her
Yeah,
because she's doing,
and everything he says
shady
is
stuff.
accurate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
From the moment he sees her, he knows there's something off about her.
And once she kind of, reveals her hand a little bit, when he confronts her at like 2 o'clock in the morning after he's had a few drinks, um, he lets his mask slip a little, and he does make some sort of racial thing towards her, and she says, "You better get out of my room and be careful of the
What does he say?
stairs." He makes some comment about her nationality. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it being like that was like the point where she said, "Get out of my room." And so when he gets out of her room, Bob's bird is flying around, and he slaps it and kills
Well, she
it.
tells him to be careful on the
Yes,
stairs,
be careful on the
which is
stairs.
also foreshadowing,
Yes.
but not for this part.
No.
Yeah, he lays the smack down on the bird,
And then that
gives it the people's elbow.
that becomes a bonding moment to much to his dismay between Bob's and Diana. That was when her name's Roberta, and she only lets people that are her friends call her Bob's, and that's the moment when she lets Diana finally call her Bob's. And then Ava Green kind of lets her just take her to school, pick her up from
Well,
school.
that was the plan for a while because remember
Yes.
she has the breakdown when they're driving because she's going to show her the route to take Bob's to school, and she has that breakdown. So it was kind of planned right almost from the beginning that she was going to be the one picking up and taking
Right. Oh
Bob's to
yeah. Well,
school.
she needs Bob's to trust her to do what she does at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Um. So, as okay. So then we got to where Mark Strong found of the pills and confronts her. They fire Diana, and at this point, Diana is like, "Okay, I'm not in the picture anymore. So here goes your medicine is gone." And she while she's on her big shoot when she has her daughter with her, she has a huge psychotic break.
Yeah, she just starts screaming.
Yep.
She sees the dog and the kid's covered in boils or ticks or whatever they are.
Yep.
Um, do you think that I don't believe her plan was to get fired, but do you believe her plan? I mean, it's obviously her. I don't know why I'm asking. Her plan was to heal Diana a little bit to get her to trust her, so she could essentially do the
She needed Diana to trust her, Diana needed,
incantation, I guess, at the end of the movie.
yeah, Diana needed Ava Green to trust her so she could have Bob's trust her so she could exact her final revenge on what Ava Green's awful company and what she, facilitated to
So
get.
basically, Ava Green, you learn through flashback, went to the company where Diana worked. She'd
So
bring her daughter to
so
school
Di- so
to work.
so Diana's in her country. She in the flashback she meets her husband, and their village is raided by insurgents, so they're kicked out, and the only way to make any money is this sweatshop. So she has to leave her husband.
Is it insurgents or is it the government?
They're
I
I
think it's the government because they're just going to set up a mining facility. They're telling people they got to leave.
possibly then, or they hired insurgents because governments do that kind of shit as well. But anyways, regardless, so to get money, she leaves with her daughter, and they don't have anybody to watch her, so she has to work in this sweatshop with where their daughter hiding underneath the table, and it's like, you know those kinds of conditions are just awful. The fan doesn't work. They're working extra long, and then Ava Green shows up one day to inspect the facility, and the guy that runs it tells her, "Oh, they're making 20 shirts a day," and she says, "Can they up it to 30?" Or they make 20 shirts in an hour, and she says, "Can they up it to
Yeah,
30?"
it's 25. She said, well, they could probably do 30.
Yeah.
But the big thing is she's worried about product being stolen from the shop, so she wants the doors chained shut.
Yep. So
It
one
it seems strange. Like that part was almost I
they had to make her super villainous. And I mean, that is the part
no,
where,
I
I
get
mean,
that, but it feels forced. It doesn't feel natural. Um, telling someone to chain the doors,
she doesn't see they don't, she doesn't see them as people. She
I
sees
get
them
that.
as machines that are making her shirts for cheap.
But in 2022, you everybody in Western civilization, like as far because we all I say Western civilization because we pretty much all grow up with the same like norms and right and wrong values.
Sure.
You know that's wrong. You know that's 100% wrong.
Yeah, I know. But for one, they need to paint Ava Green as
I'm
like
saying
this evil
that's
person.
why it feels forced to me. Like it stands out like a sore thumb in the script for me.
Fair enough. I mean, maybe I'm a little more cynical, and I do think that she is the type of person that would do that.
But it does where what parts before this does it show her like that?
Well, but you don't see her really before this. You just see her as this crazy driven person, and that to do what she wants do to make as much money as she possibly can with as little as
But I'm saying, like, what character traits do you see? Because you said that you see her doing this.
she's really mean to her daughter. Her daughter's angry at her because she doesn't connect with her.
Is she really mean to her daughter? Like, what does she do?
She calls her
I just don't
off, or
remember.
she complains about her to her. That happens a couple of times in the beginning of the movie. Um, I mean, I can understand the frustration of having a kid, but they do telegraph a little bit of that. And I mean, when she gets there, I mean, that's all you really need to know.
No,
Has a mask on of humanity when she's in her home country, but when she goes to the Philippines,
but the
she's
problem with it is you don't see it till the end. That's
the
why it
only
feels
time.
forced to me.
I mean, I don't really see it that way personally.
So the plot unravels fast, and part of the reason why I was led to accept what was happening is because you know something's up with Diana the whole
Right.
time. I still feel like the ending is a little sloppy, but don't take that as me saying I hated it or it was unenjoyable because it's not the case.
Who do you mistake me for?
No, I'm
You
talking
got the
to
cold.
the listener. I'm not talking to you. You know me well enough inside. Not well. That sounds weird, but so when I say that, I know I'm
Right,
talking to
right,
our
right.
listener,
I
or
got
viewer, or whatever. Yeah, we've been podcasting for 12 years now.
you. Yep.
We know each other pretty well.
So Diana, how she comes back is Mark Felix is upstairs, and he hears something, and he hears, you know, a voice in his head say, watch this for the steps or whatever.
How
There's the
about that part?
stairs. He trips and falls.
How did that strike you when
I
that
mean,
voiceover happened?
I don't
'Cause that's
know.
what I'm saying. Like this whole ending for such a good setup felt like it's got enough nuts and bolts to hold it together and to be passable and acceptable. But compared to the first two acts of this movie, I don't think it holds a candle.
I don't know. I liked it because I mean, I could have dealt with her without maybe the voiceover
Yeah,
happening, but
it's
like
unnecessary.
because you know what's up,
Yeah.
you figured that was
Every
what was going to
time
happen the
that
first time.
guy walks
Honestly,
on this, every time Felix walks on the steps after she says that, it's in your head.
yeah, you're like something's going to happen. I mean, yeah, I mean, this movie is a little heavy-handed at times, and a big part of Ava Green's punishment is once Diana is back in the house, she starts having her work like she is in the sweatshop, and Ava Green is been hexed by her, and she's just compelled to do whatever Diana tells her to, and what Diana just tells her to keep working, and she literally works until she explodes and she
Or
has.
spontaneously combust.
Yes, and that's literally how it shows it. It depicts it, where all that's left of her is her lucky red shoes that
Yeah.
she keeps talking about.
Well, you say explode, I'm thinking like Ready or
No,
Not.
yeah, she ate yeah, no, I gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, she's just like a smoldering corpse.
Have you
Just
seen Batman '89? Because she's a smoldering
yeah,
skeleton.
she's she shook hands with the Joker.
Yeah.
Where does he get all these wonderful toys?
Uh, and the parts at the end of the movie that do work for me. So you get through this stuff. this part works for me where she has her hacks and she's working, sweating and stuff because it's set up through the whole movie.
Right.
And the part where Bob's has the dream, and then that's foreshadowed to the end of the movie when she
Right.
becomes the Umu. I mean, I can get that without feeling like something feels forced or something because I'm led to believe that. But there's a couple parts where you get to that end um typing scene, like, okay, they had him, they had the dad, they had Felix fall down the stairs to get him. He had to be out of the house.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to do that to get him out of the house. So I think they're just going back to be careful stairs and to let you know that Diane is dangerous.
Yeah.
Besides just the bird attack in the beginning, like she's legit dangerous.
Yeah.
And she even says that an Umu can destroy or help you.
Yep. And she is there to destroy. Like the moment that
Well,
because she gets Ava Green gets that phone call and
however,
it's about the factory, and the second that happens, she's immediately hexed. That's when the problems start in her life.
however, she may not be there to destroy. She's just there so because she doesn't know how this is going to turn out at the end for Ava Green. She just knows because she tells her, she's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but you are going to receive your punishment and be aware of what you did.
Right.
You know, I think she has an idea, but she's never done anything like this. You know,
True.
I mean, yeah, the Umu that's living it, or the spirit of the original Umu that has passed through all these other people and now lives inside Diana probably has. So because she can instinctively do and know things without actually like knowing them. It's almost like a sixth sense or something.
It's like a mutant ability. Did you check out the post credit scene when
No, I shut it off.
Professor X shows up?
I shut it off. You know, I'm just I
Bob's.
need more James McAvoy in my life, but
Oh, it was Patrick Stewart.
yeah, that's why I shut it off. I heard that. That's where I was going.
I found you on Cerebro. You have a very unique ability, Bob's.
What do you think you would rate this?
Um, I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
A 4?
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it a lot. It's one of my favorite movies that we've done so far.
Oh, cool.
I really liked it. I thought it had a good story, good imagery in it. There's a little bit of like CGI stuff, but a lot of it was practical, like that big tick. That was really cool.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they went practical. At first, I was a little upset about the tick, but then I was like, well, I'm glad they went practical, and it ended up being a dream sequence, so I was like perfectly acceptable
Yeah,
because anything can look like anything in a dream.
right.
That's so stupid, but true.
What are you giving it?
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah,
Fair.
it's teetering on a
You
4.
didn't give it the same score as me? What did you hate it or something? Just
Oh,
kidding.
Golden. A 3. To me, that means you hate it. That's my golden impression. No. A 3? That must mean you hate it. Oh, we love
Oh.
you, Golden. Um, Good luck in the Philippines. I know you're trying to find your own umu over there for your feet. You want to try to
He
grow
just
them back.
keeps eating baby birds and like that's not how it works.
Well, he's upset.
He didn't watch the movie. He just kind of heard that there was a baby bird
Oh
goes
yeah, he
into
has no
someone's
idea
mouth.
about this. Yeah,
No.
like that. I mean, he didn't get it from the movie. He just cut off his feet and wants to grow them back now because the NBA he couldn't make the tryout. So robot feet don't help.
Nope. Now
Still got to have talent.
he needs to be a wizard or whatever.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
He wants to do magic.
No, he doesn't. Nobody does.
Fair enough.
Okay, so is there any other points you wanted to?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. We talked. I think we hit on all the major points of the movie. I
Yeah,
think
so
as well.
definitely this is a
Oh
recommend.
yeah,
for
definitely. It's
both
on
of us.
Shudder. Check it out on Shudder. Get Shudder. Both of the movies we watched this week are on
I
Shudder.
bought the Blu-ray.
Nice. Are there any special features on it? Yeah.
I'm gonna get to it on the YouTube page, but this kind of stuff's starting to really aggravate me.
That stinks. Ugh.
But honestly, a lot of the movies that go straight to Shudder that get distribution deals, whether it's like RJE or whatever, they don't really have.
Gotcha.
Even Shout, even some of the Scream Factories that are straight
That's
Shudder releases.
unacceptable.
I know they don't have special features on them, so but that's a lot
really
of
lame.
more indie stuff, and that's
Gotcha.
this falls in that category.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm Anthony.
I'm Mr. Sir.
This is horror.